All righty. No, I could not hear you. Did not load. Did not work. All right.
Hi, hello.
What brings you up, Cam?
So I agree mostly with the things that you opposed.
Okay.
Actually, I agree with pretty much everything except for one thing. The 27th Amendment is actually the original Second Amendment.
So you think that Congress should be able to determine their own pay?
No, so what that does is it restricts Congress from being able to give itself pay raises during the same term.
So do you think that the employees of the United States citizens should be able to determine their own pay?
They give themselves the same. Do you know the history behind the original Second Amendment?
Why are you answering my question with the question? Do you think Congress should be determining their own pay?
Who's going to determine their pay then?
The people that pay them.
Yes, but how are they going to decide? Through a referendum or what?
Yeah.
Well, that's precisely what that amendment is for. Because
really,
they could.
Can you tell when Congress determines pay increases, do they hand it down as a voting metric to the states?
So what it does is the 27th Amendment, which was the original Second Amendment, what effectively does is it makes sure that the current Congress cannot give itself pay raises. For pay raises, it needs to sign off on pay raises for subsequent Congresses, right? So essentially, that the next election is a referendum on that matter.
Sir, if you owned a business, would you allow your employees to determine their own pay?
No.
Thank you.
But that's the logic behind it, right?
So there is no logic behind the employee.
How else would Congress?
You put it to a vote
through a referendum, through a national referendum.
No, through the individual state representation.
But the pay is through federal.
Yeah.
Right. The pay is through federal. It's not through the states.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be federal at all.
Well, I mean, you're just gonna have to try to litigate that yourself.
That's
how the
founding
fathers.
Yeah, and I would get rid of that amendment. I would make the pay for each representative and senator based on the state into which they represent. That way, they're not making money for doing absolutely nothing.
Okay. Do you know the original First Amendment?
Why are we talking about hypothetical amendments that don't exist?
It actually does exist. It's just not ratified.
Then why does it matter? What's the point of the conversation? Does that have anything to do with the topics that I'm addressing?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Right? Because I presume that you'd want, it's a presumption of mine, but I presume that you want to have more influence over your supposed representative, correct?
Well, it depends.
The people that is supposed to work for you.
It depends, right? So when I asked, does this have anything to do with the topics that I have on the board? You said yes. I want to know where I'm recommending for new amendments.
It's not a new amendment.
If it hasn't been ratified, it has to be introduced, right?
No, it doesn't. It's just sticking around, waiting to be ratified.
It's waiting to be ratified. So if it needs to be brought up in committee, it has to be reintroduced, right?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't have to be reintroduced. So how does it get a vote?
3/4 of the states simply need to ratify it.
Really? How does it get introduced, and how does it convene a vote if it's not introduced?
Because it was signed off by Congress, pretty much right at the beginning,
sir,
before the Bill of Rights. But then,
if it's not introduced, how do they know what they're voting on and ratifying?
The state legislatures can do that. It's sitting around in limbo right now. And if 3/4 of the state legislatures pass it, then it becomes the amendment.
Yes, but it has to be reintroduced in order to garner a vote from 3/4 of the state legislatures. Yes.
No, it doesn't need to be reintroduced, or
Then-
it needs to be introduced.
Thank you.
It needs to be reintroduced within the state legislature.
You literally just contradicted yourself.
Well, I'm trying to clarify what you're asking.
I'm asking, in order to vote on something, you would have to reintroduce it
in the state legislatures.
So I really don't care about an amendment in limbo. What I care about is going back to the 7 articles and the Bill of Rights, and that's it.
Well, the founding fathers put in the original First Amendment and the original Second Amendment, which you know is the 27th Amendment, because that's how it was ratified. But they put those at the very top. The Bill of Rights are actually the original 3rd through the 12th Amendments.
Why? What? So
that James Madison drafted up.
So why weren't the original First and Second ratified?
Because essentially because the states couldn't agree on it.
Right. So again, there's a reason for it. I'm happy with the Bill of Rights and just the 7 articles.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you know how big the current congressional districts are on average?
Not off the top of my head, no.
It's a little more than 750,000.
Okay.
760,000.
So
that man cannot represent all 760,000 people. And so what does he do? He goes to the campaign donors, and that's who he's really accountable to. Who are the campaign donors? It's all the banks.
So what does this have to do with any of the points that I'm talking about, sir?
If you want strong families, good morals, American values, and sovereignty, if you want truth over lies, and discipline, honor, and courage, you want a government that is more close to the people that it's supposed to represent.
Okay.
Closer to the people that it's supposed to represent. Currently, because the districts are so large, the districts can be simply bought out by financial interests.
So get rid of NGOs and get rid of lobbying.
It doesn't matter. You get rid of NGOs, you get rid of lobbying, the banks will find a way to buy out the election still.
The banks will find a way to buy out the elections.
Yep. But when the congressional districts are smaller, which is what the apportionment amendment talks about,
regardless of the size, don't you think that the banks can still buy out people?
No. It becomes harder to do so structurally.
No, not at all. It actually allows the banks to disperse their money in more vast ways rather than just one candidate. You have multiple candidates that the bank now can invest in. Okay,
so I want you to think about it this way, right? There are 435 seats available for Congress right now, right? The House of Representatives. The banks simply need to buy out 435 districts. Whereas if the district sizes are closer to what they were when the country was founded, which is roughly around 30,000, right? Then the banks need to buy out something closer to 11,000 congressmen, right? So the pot becomes smaller, right? The pot that they could divvy out becomes smaller.
Sir.
But as that pot becomes smaller, the local constituents in the districts, the amount of money that they could raise for who they see as the correct candidate to represent their needs and desires, it becomes much more in line. So it becomes easier for the common man, for the working man, right? The American patriot to actually
regardless of a size, if the banks have this much power, do you think that they would still be able to buy out candidates?
They could try, but it'll be significantly harder. Just on a structural level.
If the bank has this much power to buy 435 members of Congress and 11,000 representatives, as you said, the size does not matter based on the power hypothetical that you gave.
If it becomes becomes 11,000 as opposed to the 435, then the banks, how do I put it? How did I put this? 435,000. All right, 435 right now. It's the district sizes are larger than the state of Wyoming.
The district sizes, the district sizes make no
The
difference.
Congressional district sizes are larger than the state of Wyoming.
District sizes do not make a difference in the ability for a bank to invest. You're just giving them a larger pool to invest in more diverse ways.
No, because the bank, for all their power, their funds are still relatively limited.
How do you know that?
Otherwise, we wouldn't have economy.
No, how do you know their funds are limited?
Because that's the nature of economy.
That's not an answer.
So how are the banks going to just keep giving out more and more
Don't
money?
tu quoque me. How do you know a bank's funds are limited?
I mean, they could keep printing money.
The banks print money?
Yeah, the Federal Reserve.
Oh, the Federal Reserve is not the Federal Reserve is not the banks. So, are you saying that are you saying that the Federal Reserve is buying all these candidates?
It's a cartel of banks, private banks.
The Federal Reserve is a cartel of banks now?
Banks control the Federal Reserve, which controls America's monetary supply.
Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, no. Goodbye. Next. Oh, fucking Baxter. I'm trying to keep it opposition only. Anybody else want to complain about the banks? The topics of discussion are feminism, destroys women, destroys families, abortion, unalives the innocent, abortion is not a right, mass immigration threatens our culture and safety, we should repeal the 19th Amendment, we should repeal 11 through 27, actually. Oversimplified claims. I can't remember. Where are you from? Because voting's not a right, ZJ Rennie. Okay, yeah, you're Russian. Boop. That's what I think. So who should vote? Landowners should vote, and people who could pass a civics test should vote. People who are obligated to serve in war should vote. So that negates the women. Women should not vote because a woman's primary responsibility is to her family and to her children, and we need to order society towards that. But just because I don't have land doesn't mean I shouldn't have a say in how the country is ran. You have no stake in land, so you don't get an opinion as far as voting is concerned. You have no stake. It doesn't matter if you pay taxes. That's not a stake. That's a voluntary metric that you participate in. So, YOU''RE. Warrant issued for James Comey. Oh dear. What do we got here? An arrest warrant was issued for former James Comey after he was indicted by a grand jury in North Carolina related to his Trump assassination post. And the U.S. Marshals were asked to provide Comey with the indictment, and they issued on an arrest warrant. Comey is facing up to 20 years in prison. Let's see. Read the indictment. Let's read the indictment. It's only 3 pages. I'm really tired of these jets. So let's see. The grand jury charges that on or about May 15, 2025, in the Eastern District of North Carolina, the defendant James Bryan Comey Jr. did knowingly and willfully make a threat to take the life of and to inflict bodily harm upon the President of the United States, in that he publicly posted a photograph on the internet social media site Instagram, which depicted seashells arranging in a pattern making out 8647, which a reasonable recipient who is familiar with the circumstances would interpret as a serious expression of an intent to do harm to the President of the United States. In violation of Title 18, United States Code Section 871, Paragraph Alpha, on or about May 15, 2025, in the Eastern District of North Carolina, the defendant James Bryan Comey Jr. knowingly and willfully did transmit an interstate and foreign commerce communication that contained a threat to unalive the President, Donald J. Trump, specifically by publicly posting a photograph on the internet social media site Instagram, which depicted seashells arranging in a pattern making out 8647, which a reasonable recipient who's familiar with the circumstances would interpret as a serious expression of intent to do harm to President Trump, in violation of Title 18 United States Code Section 875, Paragraph C. That's hilarious. Oh, 2 counts. Sorry. I apologize. 2 counts. So, violation Title 18 United States Code 871 Paragraph Alpha, and violation Title 18 United States Code 875 Paragraph Charlie. So, wonder how that's going to go. Ali Kim, what brings you up?
What's up, Mike? I'm Leo Kim, and I'm 28. So I'm thinking, like the whole world is run by enterprises, and what better to have a businessman to run the country for? That's like, this is the way it should be run. And what are you gonna put there? A politician that's only talking about left and right? We're gonna be having somebody who's actually into business, and Donald Trump is the man. That's why.
Okay. Well, I do appreciate you coming up. I'm looking for opposition though, bro.
That'll be, man, but there will be just words.
That's okay. But I do hope you have a blessed day, and you take care, and God bless. So that's gonna be a good video when I make it later. Let's see. What? I'm not even reading that. I can't read that. That would violate the terms of service. You should really read your history, Rogue Stump. FBI raids 22 Minnesota child care centers and businesses, including the infamous Quality Leering Center, as part of fraud investigation linked to the Somali community. What do you know? I am still waiting on a gentleman on Instagram or Threads. We have Turtle coming up. Turtle, what brings you up?
I just find the whole opposition side a bit ludicrous, to be honest.
Okay. How old are you, and where do you live?
I'm 21 from the UK.
Okay. So, what about my opposition do you not agree with?
I think the notion of feminism being opposed is a bit contradictory.
Okay.
To the standard values that we live in a Western society, because feminism is inherently implicit in the understanding of gender equality and also just basic sexual respect.
I don't believe in gender equality.
Why not?
Because women would not have any of their rights if it weren't for men to grant them. They can't fight for their own right. You got a lot of background noise, homie. So,
my fault, bro.
So, yeah. I can't find anything in the United States history where feminism has added a benefit to society. Can you?
You would like me to?
Can you find a benefit that feminism has provided?
I would say through feminism, there's been a higher female representation on issues that have been negated.
Like what?
So, the US hasn't been dragged into as many wars. I would say that, excluding what Trump is doing, because Trump's a whole unique person.
So since 1920, the United States hasn't been dragged into many wars because of feminism.
No, not exclusively because of feminism, because of a higher female representation and higher levels of political standings.
So we have.
It's not been as.
So we have more. We have more women. We have more female representation in the past 30 years than there ever has been. And you think there have been less wars?
No, I'm not saying there's been less wars. I'm saying through an additional representation, like there's been advances in reproductive rights. There's been, I'd say, longer durations of peace.
Let's stick to the because of female representation, there's been a decrease in the amount of conflicts that the United States is engaged in. Do you think?
No, not decrease. I would say the US has been a lot more liberally posed to not get dragged into those wars.
Okay. Do you think when it was predominantly male and congressional representation, we were involved in more wars or less?
I think the US was a lot more cantankerous through containment, through the position it took in Vietnam, through the position that is currently undertaking where Trump's entire inner circle is mainly masculine.
So it's so when it comes to the first 50 years, right after 1920, actually from 17, we'll say, I'll be charitable, from 1787, after we ratified the Constitution, 1791 when we ratified the Bill of Rights. So from 1791 to 1970, the United States was involved in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 wars over that period of time.
From what years?
In 200 years, almost 200 years, from 1787 to 1970, the United States was only engaged in what, 8 or 9 wars?
That's not a valid metric, because the US practiced isolationism up until what? Japan?
We're talking about
Japan
wars.
in the 1920s?
We're talking about wars.
Yes, but the US practiced isolationism. It would not involve itself in wars during that period because it was practicing isolationism.
And who was leading the isolationism?
I'm not talking about who was leading the isolationism.
Yeah.
Why it's beneficial.
We were practicing isolationism. So that was a male-dominated congressional representation, and as we started allowing female representation, right, we started involving ourselves more into the world for humanitarian concepts.
But the difference is the US only became a global power in the eve of the 20th century. So the practice of isolationism, for one, is not applicable because, well, they were isolated. They were not a global power at the point. They were really only dragged into being a global power following the end of World War One.
So your claim is that the United States, upon its inception, was never a global power up until the 1900s?
I don't believe so. No,
you don't believe so?
No, a global power implies global reach. The United States did not have global reach up until the 1900s.
Are you sure?
I would say so.
We didn't have global reach, but but the United States actively participated in the transatlantic slave trade. Is that not part of global reach?
That's the Atlantic.
Yeah, you have to travel the globe in order to import and export. Do you not? Would you say that falls into global reach? Just because the United States practices isolationism doesn't mean that the United States cannot defend itself from global threats or enact an offensive operation.
Well, the British Empire had global reach. The French Empire had.
Yeah, look how well the British Empire fared against the United States. A bunch of farmers with pitchforks.
We can go into like the 13 colonies and all that kind of stuff, but I'm saying the Atlantic is not global reach.
Britain got its ass spanked by the United States.
Yeah, heavily funded by the French.
So?
Yeah, not necessarily pitchforks then, was it?
Yeah, but you still got your ass kicked, didn't you?
I'm not, bro. I love the US. It's been great for Europe, and it's been great really for
it's beautiful when the United States funds everything in Europe.
Oh, are you one of those people who doesn't believe in NATO and
I want to withdraw from NATO. I want to stop funding all that shit. I want to be an isolationist. I want to focus on America first. I don't give a shit about anybody else because my country's on fire.
You see, that would be a great ideological perspective in the event that there weren't other nations who perpetually threatened you on a global stage.
Who's a threat?
China and Russia.
China and Russia have more of an inclination to deal with the United States rather than to actually enact war against us.
What, so you think there's not global power competition? Why do you think the arms race happened?
So there's an economic competition, but none of these nations are prepared or even postured to go to war with each other. It's an economic competition. So no, in the grand scheme of things, nobody. There's no reason why the United States cannot focus on herself. Like,
no, I opened my line with saying that what you're saying, America first, isolationism, is a great ideology for the sake of self-preservation and self-improvement. Me personally, I'm a big fan of that kind of thought process, but it's contradictory to the idea when there are perennial threats to your country's dominance.
Who's a perennial threat?
So I said Russia and China.
How is Russia with a depleted military and depleted energy stores a perennial threat?
They're a perennial threat because of the fact that they are holding an imperialistic overview of Eastern Europe and Europe as is.
So
hence why they went for Ukraine.
So why do I care? Why do I care what's happening across the pond when Russia has a depleted military?
Because it's within your best interest.
Why is it within my best interest?
Because America benefits from a strong Europe.
No, we don't. Europe benefits from America.
Do you think Europe just bleeds America dry and doesn't give anything back in return?
Can you tell me what you import into the United States?
What we import?
Yeah, tell me what you give the United States in return for all of our money.
Britain literally had a trade deal in September with you.
Yeah, what was it?
Steel was the big one.
Oh, steel's really? Wait, you're telling me that the United States cannot manufacture its own steel?
No, I'm not saying the US cannot manufacture steel.
Are you saying that's the only thing you're good for is steel? Or are we just trying to...
No. I'm saying the UK, right, sent to the US, the US imported, because that's what you asked, the US imported British steel, right, and total trade through goods and services in excess of, I think, 300 billion pounds, which I don't know how much that is in US dollars. I think maybe 400 billion US dollars in the latter half of 2025.
So you think that the United States, do you think that the United States is reliant on British steel?
No.
Or is that the only thing that Britain could offer us that we could use?
No, you asked what did Britain provide?
Yeah.
And I said, well, goods and services like financial services, pharmaceuticals were the main ones, but steel,
pharmaceuticals,
the main, like, physical.
I don't think Britain's the leading innovation in pharmaceuticals.
AstraZeneca was the second biggest pharmaceutical company, and GlaxoSmithKline both produced the COVID jabs. They were
those things are poison.
Okay, that's subjective, but they're both British.
Yeah, when you have a plethora of pokies that lead to millions of, or hundreds of thousands, we'll say thousands of cases of myocarditis and pericarditis, it's poison.
Well, I couldn't possibly comment on vaccination skepticism.
You can't.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're like what I don't understand about people who are in the UK is you're so overly concerned about United States politics, but I don't hear a lot of you talking about the problems within your own nations.
Well, that's not true. I hate to break it.
Okay, I said I don't hear a lot of you talking about your own nation. What is the biggest problem that the UK has right now?
It is the Mandelson-Epstein crisis. It's all over the news. It's going to collapse the current government.
The Epstein crisis?
No. So the UK ambassador to the US, a guy called Peter Mandelson, who was hired by the PM.
Okay.
Right. He was the UK ambassador to appease Donald Trump and all that thing. When the Epstein files were released on your side, Mandelson's name was in there more than a lot of times.
Okay.
Right.
Is he complicit in a crime?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's legitimate evidence of your ambassador complicit in a crime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has he been brought up on charges?
It's an active trial.
Oh, wait. So if it's already in trial, it means charges were brought up.
If you go on BBC News, because I don't think Fox would show.
I don't care about BBC News. You should know a little bit of the details, right? So if there's a trial, there's a trial going on where he's currently a participant.
Yeah, because it's an inquiry into the vetting process under which he was appointed because of who Epstein was.
So the trial is an inquiry, had nothing to do with the crimes that he may or may not have committed?
No, it's not to do with him. It's to do with the vetting process under which he was appointed the ambassador because of his...
So, I mean, it means fucking nothing. Like, I don't understand how one ambassador could destroy your economy.
No. You're saying the hottest story right now, the biggest story in the UK is the fact that the PM hired a UK ambassador to the US who had explicit Epstein ties, apparently, and the vetting process under which he was hired was supposedly ignored. That's the problem.
Okay. So I don't see the connection between the vetting process and the Epstein files when they're not using the alleged crimes in the Epstein files to connect it to the man. So you're not holding your
Epstein, as I mean, I don't know if you're a believer of this because I'm judging you and you don't believe the Epstein files are real or something.
There's 3 million of them.
Oh, so you did? Oh, brilliant. So I was getting the impression you didn't believe them.
There's 3 million of them, but they've amounted to nothing.
Oh, yeah, there it is. So
there it is. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What? Name a person that has committed crimes in them.
I would probably go with Bill Gates talking about all the different Russian women that he wanted to rape.
Women?
Was it men?
So Bill Gates talking about the women he wanted to SA. That's not a crime.
I would say it's called being implicit in a crime.
No, that's not even. No, that's not a crime. He's speaking. This is the problem with people that don't understand law. Is speaking is not indicative of committing a crime. So Bill Gates saying that he wants to do something is not a crime.
Right, but when you're implicit, like the trials, the hearings, when you're implicit in something that designates that there has been a crime committed.
Where's the crime?
Right. Huh?
Where's the crime?
I mean, if a tree falls and you don't hear it, did the tree fall?
That has nothing to do with the question I asked. You're saying
if there's no, like, if someone didn't film him,
you're going to bring up the Epstein files. It's the burden of proof is on you to connect the crime committed to the person.
Epstein was a known.
It doesn't matter.
It
doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No, because you're connecting other people who are not Epstein. I'm saying bring your evidence.
What kind of evidence you want?
Legitimate evidence that you could actually utilize in court to prove committing a crime.
No, that doesn't answer my question.
That literally answers the question because that's how legalese is articulated in a court of law.
In a court of law, you can inherently understand that there needs to be hearings and trials and tribulations. Hence, what's happening right now.
Sir, is hearsay admissible in a court of law?
I don't do U.S. law, so I can tell you, as you can tell from my accent.
We both operate under the English common law.
When we're talking about hearsay, right, as an out of court stuff being brought into court, right, that is inherently an implicit truth of what was asserted.
No, it's not implicit. Stop using words you don't understand. Next. Oh, Lord have mercy, people. Like, $3 million Epstein files. 3 million. And this is supposedly only half. There could be 10 million files, and they're still going to amount to nothing. These are protected individuals that were not as loose-lipped as you think. So, hearsay is inadmissible in a court of law. You need legitimate evidence to prove a crime. And I'm saying in these files, there isn't enough evidence to prove a crime. Epstein's already gone. Maxwell's in prison. Do you think Republicans win midterms? Yep, sure do. You know why? Because no one really likes Democrats. Bo Keto,
What's happening, man?
what brings you up?
I just can't. I'm just scrolling through, and you seem interesting. What's your positions on everything traditional? All right, all right. Well, I got a question for you. What do you think about Trump? What he's doing lately? Since you have his picture.
In regards to what?
The war.
What,
do you think he's keeping? Do you think he's keeping the moral high ground?
In regards to what?
To these traditional Iranians.
Do you think that we should allow people who support child marriage to thrive?
No, I don't think we should allow people who support child marriage to thrive. But if we're going to use that as our compass, then we should also cut relations with Saudi Arabia, with Egypt. With,
I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that.
Well, then you're philosophically consistent, but Trump is not. He's doing it. And
Trump is a businessman.
I understand he's a businessman.
So he understands.
If we're going to oppose the Iranians because they oppose child marriage,
I can't tell you why. So let's get one thing clear. I can't tell you why Trump in his mindset is doing, but I can tell you why I would do it. I didn't support Trump going into Iran, right? I didn't support it. But since we're there, we might as well win. So I
agree with that.
We might as well try to establish, a conducive leadership in that nation that is both good for the people of that nation as well as good for trade relations with us. So hopefully it works out. I don't have a lot of high hopes, but that's where we're at.
Do you think Trump is making us look strong as a nation? Because I'm an American and you're
100%. I mean, we decimated their first through seventh strings of leadership. So yeah, if anything.
Yeah, and they're still fighting. They're showing a tenacity that I have to respect.
Are they still fighting?
Or is it straight open?
Today?
Is it straight open?
Have they fought with us for the last 2 weeks?
I thought they have.
No,
I thought they
not at all.
Not at all.
So we're actually we're actually in the process of negotiations. So
yeah, very tenuous negotiations.
You can use the word tenuous all you want to, but you didn't even know that we weren't even fighting with them. Even Lebanon and
Israel. We are still at war. There's a ceasefire.
No, we're not. It's not even a war.
It's not even a war.
No. Has Congress declared it?
So it's not a war because Congress has declared it.
Yeah, that's called.
The world sees it as a war.
I don't care what the world sees. That's a fallacious argument. You're appealing to the masses.
No, I'm not appealing to the masses.
Did you not just use the world sees it?
All right, you read Sun Tzu, The Art of War?
Stop answering my question with a question. Did you not just use the world sees it as a war, so it must be a war?
Yes.
That's a fallacious argument.
It's not a fallacious argument.
You are so the reason why it's a fallacious the reason why it's a fallacious argument is because you are appealing to the masses, right? Because a large group of people view it a certain way, it must be that way. But I'm telling you, that is fallacious. That is a logical fallacy.
Okay, this military action with Trump, our enemies see this as a war. The only people that doesn't see this as a war is you.
Because I know law.
Well, you say Congress hasn't declared it a war.
Yeah,
what do you call bombing the shit out of their leadership?
That's called a military operation.
A military operation.
Yeah. We commit military operations all the time. That doesn't mean that we are in war every day. So we commit all over the world between intelligence operations, psychological operations, nation building operations, critical infrastructure destruction operations. So all over the world, this is happening. So
Yeah, does that make it okay though?
No. Now you're changing it up. Now you're changing, right? You're moving the goalpost.
You can't just unilaterally kill the leadership of another country.
Why?
And say, "Oh yeah, this
Why?
is not a war."
Why?
The Iranians see it as a war.
Why? Why can't I?
You can't, because the Iranians see it as a
So?
war. The Chinese
Why?
see it as a war.
I don't
the
care.
Russians see it as a
Why
war.
can't I?
If all our enemies see it as a war, why do
Again,
we
another fallacious argument.
see it as a war? All right, a fallacious argument. Was it World War II? Was World War II happening?
That was a declaration of war.
If you let me finish, was it happening before 1942? Before Congress?
We were not at war, but there was a war breaking out between other nations.
Yes.
There was a literal declaration of war.
Okay, and we were supporting the war effort in Europe by financially inducting.
This is what I don't like. Like, you don't know the laws of logic. You don't know logical fallacies. You're arguing from a place of emotion. I don't care. I don't care. You're talking about, oh, we can't. It's not right that we, took out their leadership. Why are you supporting them? So, blows my mind. Llewellyn, what brings you up?
So you think Donald Trump is like class? Is that the prompt of this? Yeah. Like you're on the side of saying like Donald Trump is deadly.
Do you know how to read?
Well, I do, but I'm just like trying to get the vibe of it because sometimes people put up stuff and like it's like
Do
the
you know-
opposite of what they're actually trying to talk about.
Do you see what where it says oppose?
No.
It literally has it on the background right there. It says
Oppose. We'll move on from it. We'll be brand.
Feminism, abortion, mass immigration.
I think it's all class.
Say what?
I think it's all class.
You think it's all class?
Yeah, it's class.
What do you mean by that?
Immigration. America is built on immigration.
No, we're not.
Yes, you are.
No.
Well, there wasn't any fucking white people there before you guys came.
Yeah, we settled this land and we took it over. That's not immigration because there was no nation here.
What the fuck are you talking about? Of course there was.
There was no established nation.
There was Native Americans.
So you had a bunch of savage tribes around. That doesn't depict a nation.
That's insane. What do you mean a bunch of savage tribes around?
Yeah,
a bunch of native people to the land.
Yeah, a bunch of savage tribes around, running around, killing their neighbors.
That's awful. That's the same way that the English spoke.
That's not a nation.
That's the same way the English spoke with the Irish.
I don't. So what?
So I'm just saying that.
I don't give a shit about the Irish or the Scottish. I don't care about the UK as a whole.
Well, Ireland is not part of the UK.
I said I don't care. All I care about is America. So why don't you worry about Ireland's problems?
Oh yeah, we have plenty of them. Don't worry. But I'm just saying. Like,
so why are you involving yourself in America's problems?
No, but there is no, like, there aren't. You wouldn't have been American. Like, there is no white Americans.
Sure, there are. Every American that is born on this land that happens to be white is a white American.
Okay, fair enough. So every person that's born in that land is an American?
No, not necessarily.
See, that's where the fucking difference comes from.
So just if you're an illegal alien and you happen to be pregnant and you poop out a baby, that doesn't mean that baby is a United States citizen.
Yeah, but like how many people came from different countries?
If they're immigrating legally or illegally?
What does it matter to you?
It matters. It matters a great deal. I would actually close down immigration as a whole.
You know, Trump's mom didn't do it.
What?
Trump's mother was an illegal alien.
No, she wasn't.
She was. She came over on a holiday visa, and she overstayed her visa.
Wait. She came over on. She did not overstay her visa. So nice try.
She did.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she did. She came over from Scotland. She overstayed her visa, and then she got like citizenship because of neutrality.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Thing of like,
I'm sure.
She had an anchor baby.
I love liberals and their trigger, and I love how liberals are so triggered by Trump.
No, I'm just saying that.
Like we're having a conversation. We're having a conversation. So again, we're having a conversation about Trump. You say who's an anchor baby? Trump's an anchor baby?
No, her firstborn child, whoever's the eldest, I think it was James. He died or something like that.
How was that an anchor baby when Fred Trump was the father?
Yeah, Fred Trump.
Yeah, how is that an anchor baby?
Trump had an older brother who died.
How is that an anchor baby when an American citizen is the father?
Because, well, that's what anchor babies are.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
You're having a baby with a citizen.
No, that's not what an anchor baby is.
No.
An anchor baby is a baby who is born on the land whose parents are illegal.
Oh, well, Trump's mom was
This
illegal.
is why women shouldn't be in politics.
Trump's mom was illegal. Yeah, she was.
No, not at all.
Yeah, she was.
No, get out of here. Go pick some potatoes. All right, who's next? What brings you up?
Yo, what's up? What's up? Can you hear me?
Yes, what brings you up?
I don't know. You're being a bit goyish with your support for Trump.
How is it goyish to support the president of the United States?
He's a Jew. He loves the Jews he loves Israel more than America, bro.
Okay, what do you love?
America.
Yeah, why is it wrong to love Israel?
Because they're a false religion in the Holy Land.
Okay. How are they a false religion? What religion are you?
Christian.
Yeah, what kind of Christian?
Catholic.
You're not a Christian.
What are you, a Mormon?
No.
What are you?
So, as a Catholic, you accept every council, right? Every ecumenical council? You accept all the Catholic councils, right?
Yeah, sure.
Even Vatican II, where Vatican II allows you to pray with Muslims?
Yeah, I don't mind Muslims. I
Right.
think they're better than Jews.
Really? You think Muslims are better than Jews?
I mean, look what happens when Christians go to the Holy
Wait. Hold on. You think you think
Christians
Muslims
go to
who worship Allah and followed a prophet who consummated a marriage with a 9-year-old? Really? You think we should be praying with those people?
I mean, they respect Jesus.
No.
They hold Jesus. My best friend's a Muslim, bro. They hold Jesus as a prophet. They just don't believe he was God.
So we should be praying. So we should be praying in their. Should we be praying? Should we be praying in their temples?
A religion that takes him as a prophet.
So we should be praying in their temples, huh?
When did I say that?
That's what Vatican II says.
Then I don't believe in that. I don't.
Well, then you're a fucking heretic.
All right, bro. Well.
See, you're not a Christian.
Well, do you support Trump? Because that man's a rapist pedophile.
Can you prove it? Prove it. Prove it.
Eugene Carroll, he was found civilly liable
for what?
Paid her out money for rape.
Nope, wrong.
There was
wrong already. Wrong already.
Said, what's wrong about that? He did
wrong already.
Civilly liable for rape.
No, he was not held civilly liable for that.
What world are you living in?
Where I've actually read the case and the jury selection sheet and the jury answer sheet.
Okay, then what did they say?
The first question was, did Trump rape Eugene Carroll? And the jury said no.
Then what's he being paid out for? defamation.
Actually,
I mean, that's still pretty. Even if he's being paid out for.
Wait. Do you
a woman,
concede?
isn't that still
Do you
civil
concede? This is the problem with you fucking little Fuentes followers is that you don't read court cases. You don't read the Constitution. You don't know shit.
What? I'm not a Fuentes follower.
Oh, you sound just like him.
Well, I mean, at least he has the balls to go against the Israel lobby. And,
Bro,
like, Jewish
he's a child throwing a
control of
tantrum
America.
because he's not getting his way, and he told his followers to vote Democrat. He has no principles.
I mean,
Get out of here. Guess what? If you're a Catholic and you support Vatican II, I have big questions for you. What makes you think that we should go into a mosque and pray with Muslims who worship a prophet who consummated a marriage with a 9-year-old? Nah, bro. You just proved in 5 seconds that you never read a court case. You just proved that you're a heretic because you don't follow your own Catholic dogma. So, do you even know what goy means? Do you? Do you know what goy means? I bet you don't. Because I don't give a shit about Israel, but you made this assumption. Yep, that's all it is. Goy does not mean Gentile, homie. Stop reading Wikipedia. Maybe you should actually look at sources. Goy actually means nation. So, take care. Time for me to end this stream anyway.